All right, what about Tekashi saying that if you're black, it's okay to rat. It's accepted.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, Tekashi was way overboard with that statement.
What do you think of Tekashi saying it's racist to call him a snitch, but not other rappers like T.I., Snoop, Gunna, Young Thug, 50, and people defending Gucci Mane?
Well, 50's not a snitch, so I'm not gonna say he's a snitch. That's been proven that's not true about 50. Now, when it
But
comes to
Tekashi
Snoop
still
Dogg,
thinks so though. He's still
I
is
mean,
saying it.
because that's what people put in people ears and people see that online. But that's a lie. 50's not a snitch.
Right.
Now, when it comes to Snoop, there's been paperwork out there that he told on Suge Knight. That's a fact. That's been proven back in the days, you know, and in another situation that I think they say he had told on. You know, T.I., I wouldn't say he was a snitch because in the case of his situation, right, his situation was like this, right? T.I. was in the club, and I don't even think he told on dudes that killed his mans. I think what happened was he said what happened, and that was it. Now, when it comes to the Crime Stoppers commercial, he had to do that for his probation. So can I say he told? I can't say he told because he did that for his probation. That was his stipulations. He had to do the reality show. You remember his reality show he had on
Yeah, I
MTV?
remember.
Yeah, he had to do his,
I remember.
he had to do his reality show, and he had to do the Crime Stoppers. Those were like two things that was in his stipulations of his probation with the case that he had with all those automatic guns. Okay. Now the guy that they said was the snitch was Alpha Mega. Alpha Mega was the one that they said told on T.I. and was working with the ATF for years. So yes, he was the snitch. Now T.I. on the other hand, I can't say he was a snitch because in his stipulation, his parole, he had to do these things.
But isn't it possible that you can do things off of paperwork too?
Yeah, it is. But I'm just saying with
You just don't have the
T.I.'s
definitive proof to say it. That's what
yeah,
that's
I
what you're
can't.
saying.
Yeah, I can't say that because I never heard the guys in where that incident happened. I think it was in Cincinnati. Have ever said that T.I. told on them when his homie Phil got killed.
But isn't
You
it
know,
crazy though that he had as many felonies that he did and got caught with all those guns and he was able to still make it to see the light of day though? That I mean that's still kind of crazy.
no, it was crazy. No, it's crazy. I'm not gonna say it's not. It's crazy. I think it is. Now Gucci, on the other hand, now I'm gonna be honest about Gucci. Now the Pooh Shiesty situation, I could I give him a little leniency on that, right? Because they should have not went that way with Gucci about the contract. And I don't
Wait.
think
How you
Gucci
gonna
told
give him leniency if he's
because it's
historically
business.
been like, you know, fuck all snitches, snitches should die. Like he's been
Yeah.
so adamant about it though.
No. Why I'm saying that is because I had to look at it like this, right? It's a business. You know, Gucci is playing with different type of money. And Pooh Shiesty, his father owned a record company. They should have not went to Gucci with the guns. They should have took it to lawyers because Gucci is under Atlantic Records. Atlantic Records has Pooh Shiesty signed. So you can't just go and do that. And like they said, he had an undercover cop with him. He had a cop with him, right? An off-duty cop. And he had the white guy that was with him. So all of them was going to tell, regardless. I don't know about. I think Gucci did tell, but at the end of the day, like, come on, man. Gucci told on BMF and them. So I mean, it's no difference. Like we knew this. You know, Jeezy said this back in the days that he told on them when they came and shot and he shot and killed Pookie Low. So I don't know why people were surprised, but at the end of the day, business is business. I think Pooh Shiesty should have took it a different type of route than take it to the
Yeah,
gun
he
route.
definitely should have handled it differently. But like when you're presented with that situation, and if you're historically been like, this is the hill I'm gonna live and die on, like, oh, no snitching and everything like that,
Mhm.
then I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get
But
why people are
Gucci,
so mad.
but Gucci he's not even in that realm no more. That frequency of the street shit,
But some
like
people
him and
feel like you don't graduate, that you don't ever age out of this shit.
I think because a lot of these people they haven't graduated themselves. Like I look at the guys like Albie Al, the Main O's, the Jim Jones. You know, a lot of these real street rappers, the Rowdy Rebels, and all these cornball dudes, right? And I listen to them and I hear them, and they be on these platforms and they talk about how they real and all this. And me personally, like, what makes them real? What makes a Meek Mill real? What makes an Albie Al real? What makes all these dudes that complain about hip hop is this? Zip with the drip. What makes these guys real? It's just them just saying a bunch of bullshit. Keeping it real don't keep you rich. It keep you broke. Let's keep it real. Like these record execs, you think they give a fuck about keeping it real? You think these bankers give a fuck about keeping it real? They care about how we gonna make money.
Right.
That's not that street stuff. That's ignoramus, man. Even Cam had to Cam understand it. You know, when Cam said that back in the days, you know, Cam was trolling. But Cam know, 50 know, like that keeping it real culture don't mean nothing when it's about money. Money is money. That's why select fewer artists that reaches to that pinnacle of entrepreneur mogul status.
I think that
Lot
at the end of the day, it's just about being honest with yourself. So if you say that this is what you're about, sticking to that. So if you honestly believe in no snitching and you preach that, then you should stick to that.
Then people need to not sign the Rock Nation then. If they believe that, then don't sign the Rock Nation. Just keep it real, Panda. If they believe that, don't sign the Rock Nation. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Well, what do you think about the Young Thug and the Gunna situation though? You think that they snitches?
Pure hate, pure jealousy. I don't think what Gunna did was wrong. I think Gunna said too much, but I don't think he did anything wrong. I think people had hate for Gunna, but now they see Gunna has motion. A lot of people love Gunna music. Gunna is still out here moving, and Young Thug shit ain't doing so well. You know, his album flopped. You know, people is not really checking for Young Thug. Like they thought it was going to be the other way around. When he came home, it was going to be Young Thug. But it came to be that it was Gunna all along.
What about
Gunna was
the video of him saying like, "Oh, you know, I was just flirting. I wasn't really snitching. I wasn't really telling and stuff like that." Like he never thought that video was gonna come out.
no, he didn't think it was going to come out, and he got caught. His hands got caught in the cookie jar.
Right.
I think what happened with him was he was overzealous and cocky, that he thought that, oh, they never gonna know that I made a dick, that I sat with these people and I was talking. You know, Young Thug, but you gotta look, this guy came in the game wearing a dress. What integrity do he really have? If you came in the game wearing a dress, what integrity do you really have? If you calling men boo and you throwing up big B's and red flag and I'm sex money murder, but you wearing a dress, what integrity do you have?
All right. What about Tekashi saying that if you're black, it's okay to rap. It's accepted.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, Tekashi was way overboard with that statement. He was way overboard with that statement. But I understand where he's coming from, but he was way overboard with that statement. But I understand where he's coming from, right?
Okay.
And why I understand where he's coming from. But this is a thing that people don't really understand, right? When you look at this whole what Tekashi is saying, he has a lot of truth to it, right? But what people don't fail to realize is all these cartel people that a lot of these rappers be glorifying, they think they real dudes. But do they really read the news and know the deals that El Mayo did to get his son out of federal custody? Do they know what Chapo's son did to get El Mayo in federal custody? But they glorify these guys, say, I'm like El Chapo, I'm like El Mayo. But they don't know these dudes make deals. They'll tell on them to get out of a situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, doing for self. 6ix9ine got a raw end of the deal because people crucified him just for what he did. They didn't look at the picture that, them dudes was foul. Shotty was foul. How y'all gonna bring guns in to this man's house and stolen merchandise to this man's house? Like people didn't watch the documentary. You understand what I'm saying? I knew that wasn't a good situation for 6ix9ine. If my peoples was around 6ix9ine, it'd have been about that money. Them dudes would have had to we see y'all in Miami. We see y'all at this club. Y'all not coming when we.
How does 6ix9ine not know though that they doing all this illegal shit?
I mean, he didn't really care because it was like I said, it goes with the character. Because the music industry is all about a character. But 6ix9ine didn't really need them guys. He didn't really need them guys. What people don't understand is he was a big star overseas than he was in America. But America is so transfixed on trendy culture that 6ix9ine was like, okay, let me do something that's out the box. He goes to Bed-Stuy, Madison and Troop. He goes over there. He shoots a video. He gives out red bandanas. The dude looked like Jeff Hardy. When I saw the video, I'm like, yo, who was this dude with this rainbow hair looking like Jeff Hardy? But then I started to realize that, it's a method to his madness. That he got the hair like Jeff Hardy. He's wearing red bandanas. He was so smart visually that these dudes was fucking stupid. And all they had to do was just play their fucking role and just let him do him. And they would have all ate. But they were so fucking disloyal, and they were so loyal to Jim Jones, and Jim Jones ain't fucking take. Look, did you see what Jim Jones gave Mel Murder when he came home? He gave him a 5-chain. You hear me, Panda?
Mm-hmm.
A 5-chain, which was his chain. He gave him his chain and put it on his neck. That's like giving somebody a used chain or used clothes. He gave him a hand-me-down chain. He got off the Amtrak or the Greyhound bus.
Yeah, he didn't even go pick him up.
Didn't go pick him up with a prison sweatsuit on. So what did that tells you right there? Y'all was so loyal to that guy when that guy don't even give 2 fucks about you and have you taking the fucking Amtrak or the fucking Greyhound and he picks you up and you wearing prison sweats. That just show you right there, dudes mental be twisted.